With war rages on in the Middle East, civilians are stepping up to provide aid to those in need. Let's bring in Ron Gutman, an Israeli-American who traveled to Israel last week to meet with families of hostages and to provide relief as well as aid. We see it, Ron, on TV. We saw some of the barbarity of Hamas, but you've seen it up close and in person. What do the people of Israel need most right now?
Yes, thank you for having me, John. And, John, we are facing a humanitarian crisis. What I experienced on the ground in Israel, and I was there just a few days after this terrible thing happened on that Saturday, meeting with the families of and the people that were on the ground with the atrocities that happened on that Saturday. I saw people that were taken out of their homes. Even if they survived, after losing family members, after losing loved ones, after experiencing these atrocities, leaving their homes with just their bloodied shirt on them and nothing else. And we're talking about hundreds and thousands of them that were evacuated and are now they're basically homeless, right? And they need help, right? And we're basically making everything possible to bring them back to their feet and give them everything that they need. We're working with the hostages, with the hostages' families, and with hundreds of thousands of other people that are now evacuated from their hometowns close to the border because of the ground operation, right? So we went to Israel with On Go for Good, which is our foundation, identified several organizations on the ground, civilian organizations that are doing amazing work, right? For the goodness of their heart, contributing their own resources, their time, people that help civilians, because what Hamas created is a vicious cycle of fear. They're trying to make everybody, not only in Israel, everywhere else, afraid. The hostages are from more than 40 countries around the world. We're not just talking about Israeli hostages. We're talking from citizens from more than 40 countries that are now held hostage by the Hamas. These are civilians. They didn't do anything bad. We need to help them, because to get out of these vicious cycles of fear, we need to provide hope. And hope is helping the families, helping the people that they got evacuated, and showing the terrorists that they will not prevail.
At the same time, there's a humanitarian crisis underway in Gaza as well.
Yes, and this is very sad, to see people that the Hamas created for them such a bad situation. I mean, like hearing that the Hamas is basing themselves in hospitals, in places where they're using civilians as human shields in order to promote economic interests. I mean, this is not humanitarian. What we need to do is help the people of Gaza, the people of Israel. We need to work with civilian organizations on the ground to provide medical support, to provide help, but not help the Hamas. The Hamas is abusing the Palestinians, right? It abused Israelis and is abusing Palestinians, but help people that are getting caught in this terrible, vicious cycle of fear, and give hope to people on both sides that there's a better future coming up.
So Americans are a generous people and would like to help out. Where do you recommend contributions be sent?
Yes, absolutely. So in On Go for Good, which is a foundation that we established last year and already made serious contributions in Ukraine ourselves. I went to Ukraine just a few weeks after the war broke there. We worked with some hospitals on the ground in Ukraine and helped them in the beginning of the crisis, and continuing to help there. And of course, we went immediately to approach Israel. And what we usually do is identify partner organizations on the ground, like the Bring Them Home Now, which is working with the hostages and their families to help bring the hostages home and help the families, like Natal, which is an organization that is ran by women and is focused on mental health, helping people in their homes, both people that got evacuated from these places that got hurt, and other people. Natal is an important one.
With 230 hostages, obviously there are a lot of people hoping and praying for their safe return. Ron Gutman, we appreciate your time tonight. Thank you.
Thank you very much.